It's 2026, and let's be real. AI is no longer a futuristic dream. It's here, right now, and it's a genuine double-edged sword. On one hand, it's creating absolute miracles, but on the other, it's manufacturing some serious nightmares. So let's dive into the two sides of this technology, the incredible promise and the very real peril.
Everything we're about to talk about really boils down to this one idea. It's not just a nice thought, it's the whole game. The future of AI isn't going to be about who has the fastest processor. It's going to be about who earns our trust. Because without that, the most brilliant tech in the world is, well, pretty much useless.
So if you're still picturing AI as something out of a sci-fi movie, it's time for a major update. AI has officially left the lab and stormed the boardroom. This is the new reality. It is the competitive advantage that's deciding who wins and who gets left behind in today's market. The race is definitely on.
All right, let's start with the good stuff, the promise. And honestly, there's no better place to see AI's magic than in the world of marketing. This isn't just about crunching numbers anymore. AI is becoming a creative partner, helping brands connect with us in ways we never, ever thought possible. Take a look at this number. Over 1 billion. With a B. That's how many times people have used L'Oreal's virtual try-on tool, all powered by AI. And the result? People who use it are 3 times more likely to actually buy something. That's a game changer, bridging that gap between just browsing online and clicking add to. And then you've got Nike, who did something that sounds like it's straight out of a blockbuster movie. They created a virtual tennis match between a young Serena Williams from 1999 and her 2017 self. They fed the AI thousands of hours of footage, and it learned their completely different playing styles to create this incredible one-of-a-kind match. The result? A mind-blowing 1,000% increase in organic views. That's what happens when human creativity meets AI execution.
And these aren't just one-off examples, not at all. Netflix uses AI to figure out which thumbnail is most likely to make you click, and it works, boosting clicks by up to 30%. Unilever is cutting its campaign planning time in half with predictive AI. Adidas is using it to sell out limited edition sneakers in less than a day, and a startup called Tomorrow Sleep used an AI content strategy to boost their traffic 100-fold in 1 year. The big picture here is that AI is shifting everything from just shouting at the masses to having super personal conversations at a scale that was just impossible before.
Okay, so that's the promise. But for all this incredible innovation, there's a new frontier of peril. The technology is moving at this absolutely breathtaking pace, and our laws, our ethics, well, they're struggling to keep up. This is the moment where that shiny new tech collides head-on with the messy reality of the real world.
And this collision is creating some serious legal minefields. Companies are facing massive lawsuits because their AI hiring tools are showing bias. That simple delete my data button, it's become a huge legal puzzle with AI. And you've got professionals, like lawyers, getting in serious trouble for putting confidential client info into public AI models. These are not what-if scenarios. This is the new cost of doing business today.
And this leads us to this really fascinating and kind of weird new idea called the right to unlearn. See, when you train an AI on data, that information gets baked into its logic. It's not just stored, it's learned. So the big question is, how do you make an AI forget something? It's a huge problem that has regulators totally stumped.
Think about it like this. Deleting your name from a simple database, that's a clean, easy process. Poof, the record is gone. But with a trained AI, it's just not that simple. The influence of your data is woven into the very fabric of the model. It's not a single file you can just delete. It's more like a lesson that's changed millions of tiny connections inside the AI's brain. Trying to remove it is like trying to take a single drop of red dye out of a glass of water. And that technical problem has huge implications for our right to privacy.
And now, we have to talk about the truly dark side of AI, the deepfake dilemma. This is where the risk stops being about corporate lawsuits and starts getting deeply personal. This is about our safety, our trust, and maybe even our own perception of what's real.
Now, really, just think about that for a second. For all of human history, seeing was believing. Our eyes were the ultimate truth tellers. But in this new age of synthetic media, that fundamental trust is being broken down piece by piece. The line between what's real and what's fake is getting so blurry, and that has some terrifying consequences for all of us.
1,780%. That is not a typo. That's the increase in malicious, non-consensual deepfake content that was detected between 2019 and 2024. This isn't some far-off threat we need to worry about one day. It's a full-blown crisis, and it's happening right now.
And if you think this is some niche fear, you'd be wrong. A recent survey showed that 3 out of every 5 people, that's 60% of us, are now genuinely worried about becoming a victim of deepfakes. This has officially gone mainstream. It's a fear that's sitting in the back of everyone's mind.
So, how is this stuff actually weaponized against people? Well, it usually follows a pretty simple playbook. First, a bad actor creates a really convincing fake video or image of someone. Then, they can use that fake to impersonate a person you trust, trying to manipulate you. Or they just use the threat of releasing it as a weapon, for blackmail, for extortion, for harassment. The potential for real-world harm here is just immense.
So, wow, it's a lot. And it's easy to feel like we should just pull the plug on the whole experiment. But the answer isn't to stop innovating. It's to guide that innovation. The entire future of AI hinges on our ability to build trust, transparency, and accountability right into the code of these systems from the very beginning.
You know, one of the most important principles here is this idea of synergy. It's about humans and AI working together. The real goal should never be to replace human creativity, but to amplify it. The best uses of AI are the ones that free us up to do what we humans do best. Be creative, think critically, and solve the really tough problems. So what are the actual steps to get there? Well, it starts with having clear, firm-wide rules about how AI can and can't be used. It means demanding independent audits to make sure AI tools aren't biased. And maybe most importantly, it means companies need a cultural shift where they treat fairness and transparency as core priorities, right up there with making a profit. And all of this leads us to one final and maybe the most important question of our time. When an AI gets it wrong, when it makes a mistake, who's on the hook? Is it the person who coded it, the company that used it, or the machine itself? The answer we choose is going to shape not just the future of technology, but the future of our society. It's a question we all have a stake in answering.